From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolmany TV. And welcome back to another Edmonton Oilers discussion here on Dolmany TV. And after that absolute embarrassment against the San Jose Sharks, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Chiarelli pulls the trigger. Pistol Pete on another trade here, getting it done. And okay, let's break it down. What's going on? Chris Wideman is headed out the door. Thank goodness. That's good. I'm not going to complain. Guy was absolutely terrible against San Jose. He's played 5 games and pretty much looked overwhelmed in every single one. You guys agree with me on Twitter if you know what I'm meaning there. And a 3rd round pick. Now the 3rd round pick is conditional. So essentially the condition, I believe what's been reported so far, is the 3rd round pick. We have 2 3rd round picks in the 2019 draft. Essentially what becomes of it is one of those 2 3rd round picks will be higher than the other. That's as easy of a breakdown as I can give you. And the best one will go to Florida for Alex Petrovic. That's bing bang. So Alex Petrovic is the new man of interest on the Oilers defense, and a guy who by all accounts hasn't exactly been having the season he'd like to be having in Florida. He's an Edmonton product. Okay, so this is the fun part. Mr. Ken Hitchcock comes in. He's a local boy, gets a local boy on defense once again. So now you got, where is he? Right there's my hockey reference on Alexander Petrovic, who's from Edmonton, Alberta. 2nd round, 36th overall, 2010 NHL entry draft. And guys, you know what's fun here? Look at his junior team, if you can, while you're on Hockey Reference today looking at Alexander Petrovic. He played for the Red Deer Rebels right around the same exact time Mr. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was doing so. So, hey, a couple of former teammates going to reunite. I mean to say it could be a little bit of fun for Mr. Nugent-Hopkins to have an old teammate back, right? 2 kids, big NHL journey so far, get reunited in Edmonton, in Petrovic's hometown. Come on now, it's going to be good. So now, Petrovic, by all accounts, when I heard the trade was made and I was on the phone with Buddy, essentially what I said of Petrovic is he's a guy who knows how to play defense. Essentially, Petrovic might not be the flashiest offensive player, not the fastest, whatever, but the Oilers are in such desperate need of a defenseman you can throw out there and who can actually play defense. Now, Petrovic, career ice times, he's pretty much logged anywhere between, in 33 or more games, about 16 minutes and 16 seconds to about the highest end being 18:09. So Petrovic, not exactly a guy who plays a lot of minutes, but that's a 2nd pairing defenseman right there, especially the way the Oilers somewhat shelter their 3rd pair under head coach Ken Hitchcock, giving some circumstances when they have the full defensive lineup available to them. So now Petrovic, it'll be interesting to see where he slots in, because based on his numbers, he's kind of had this season where it hasn't gone his way, right? Petrovic, a tough guy, for sure. Petrovic is an old school defensive defenseman, and as much as Oilers fans want to try and rip him on Twitter even before he suits, like, come on guys. The guy hasn't touched the puck once for the Edmonton Oilers, and you're already saying he's a waste of space. Like, this is exactly what's wrong with Oilers fans at the current moment. A guy can't even get on the plane from where he's coming from, and he's already hated by 90% of the fan base. Wake up, boys. Wake up. Give a guy a chance. He's a guy who plays old school defense on a team now that is in such desperate need of a player that can actually understand a defensive scheme. You give him a head coach like Ken Hitchcock, and you give him a chance to just play defense and worry about the offense secondary. Watch out, Alex Petrovic about to have a great rest of the year for the Edmonton Oilers. Don't believe me? Well, you know what? Wait and see. I could be 100% wrong. You guys know, if you want to check me in the comments section down below, check me 3 months, 4 months down the road when we're talking playoff hockey, and see how wrong or right I am. I have a feeling on this one, based on the Oilers' just kind of needs at the moment, as well as how the defense will evolve. Petrovic, in my mind, is a shutdown 2nd pair defenseman. From what I've seen in his career so far, and just based on numbers, right? Because 17, 14, 13 points in the past 3 of the 4 years. He's only got 1 assist this year. He's -8. The thing is, Petrovic is not a minus defenseman. -8 this year, yeah, sure. But come on the Oilers, -8 ain't much. -2 the year before in 67 games, -1 in 49 games played. You seriously want to sit here and try and argue with me that this is a bad pickup, especially that we traded Chris Wideman and a conditional 3rd-round pick? I think we could have done a lot worse. You know what we got Petrovic for? A 6th-round pick and a 3rd-round pick. That's not a bad pickup for a guy that can play second-line defense, top 4 time, and shut it down on a team that is so desperate to have a guy that can play shutdown defense. Now you imagine this. Petrovic is either going to line up, I believe, with a guy like Nurse or Russell. It depends on the night, depends on the look the Oilers want to go with. Obviously, when Clefbaum gets back, it will 90% be Darnell Nurse. If you're arguing that, I don't know. Get yourself an analytics job somewhere in the NHL if that's what you're arguing, because whatever. But, like, seriously, right now, Chris Russell will return. It'll be Russell and Petrovic on the second line. That's fine. I am fine and dandy with that, because Petrovic, old school defender, can play defense, and then you've got Chris Russell who does whatever, literally whatever needs to be done to get the Oilers a W in a night. While you put those two together, a shutdown second pairing of defensemen, and you throw them out there against the team's second lines, especially in the Pacific Division where they're top heavy, right? 2 lines can really kill you. You think about friggin' Vancouver, the Bo Horvat line is secondary to the Pettersson and Besser line, but they are just as good at times in games. You have 2 lines of defense. You have a Clefbaum and Larson, and you have a Darnell Nurse and Petrovic, or a Russell and Petrovic that can go out there and just shut it down, whether it be the top unit or the second unit. Man, guys, that is transformative for the Edmonton Oilers. For you guys who want to write him off before he's even begun, you guys are so desperately needing the Oilers to get a defenseman, and then the old adage is, oh, the Oilers need a puck-moving defenseman. That's Darnell Nurse, and that's Oscar Clefbaum. If you guys are that daft in the head, I don't know. Like, seriously, come on. Wake up and smell the coffee. Caleb Jones is emerging as a guy that's going to do that, whether it be later this year when we get rid of Matt Benning, or whether it be next season. That's fine. Caleb Jones, that's what he's up here to do right now, is just learn the NHL game, similar to what Mr. Ethan Bear did, and then we'll be good. But right now, this move is for sure not just a stopgap measure. Because Petrovic, you know what, no matter, you get Sekera back, you get Russell back, you get Clefbaum back, guess what? Petrovic is a guy that is solidly in your top 6 every single night. You want to talk about the untouchables in the top 6? Well, obviously you get Mr. Andre Sekera back, and he's a half-hearted effort of what he was before offensively, but he can play defense still. Guess what? You've got Clefbaum, Larson, Nurse, Russell, Sekera, Petrovic. Guess what, guys? That's a legit Oilers defense for once. That's actually a legit Oilers defense. You're kidding me if you don't think the Oilers can do something if those defensemen play defense and score a couple of points. Guys, I'm just a little bit ticked after seeing what everybody was sharing on Twitter about Alex Petrovic and saying, hey, man, we're writing him off before he even touches the puck. Honestly, Chris Wideman and a conditional 3rd, you know what, essentially this isn't even going to be a top-tier 3rd-round pick unless we crapper the bed real bad the rest of the season, but I don't think that's happening. I think we'll be either middle of the pack or just barely a bubble playoff team at this point. But guys, you want to talk about it, Alex Petrovic is a solid pickup for what we gave up. We got Chris Wideman for a 6th-round pick. Well, guess what? A 6th costs you nothing. The Oilers have never really hit with their 6th-round picks in the history of drafting. So sit here and come at me with the fact that a 3rd-round pick for Alex Petrovic is too much? Please, come on. Especially if he even plays half the old-school defense and gets a couple of points. Guess what, guys? Good night. Have fun with your little wallow in self-pity and have a good time sitting there realizing, oh, maybe I should give guys a chance before they play up for the Oilers. Just because Peter Chiarelli made a trade doesn't necessarily make it a bad one. Guess what, guys? It's going to be a good time to see what's going on. It's me against you at this point. What do you guys think? I'll let you have your say in the comments. I've come down on you enough. I feel like I may be on the wrong side of this one, but I feel I am on the right side of this one. Guys, I'm Tyson. This has been Dolany TV. Make sure to hit me up in that comment section down below. Oh boy, after I rip a tear into you guys like that, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm Tyson. This is Dolany TV. Like I said, I am up on out of here.